Hey, July 25th, we're having a church business meeting, and we're going to have it after church. But we can't go straight into business meeting after we've been worshiping together, and it's around that lunchtime. So let's share lunch together. Potluck lunch in the Fellowship Hall of Northeast Baptist Church. So bring a good dish to share. We'll also order in some food to make sure that we have enough. But we're going to share a meal, and then we'll have our church business meeting on July 25th, not July 18th, as previously noted. We needed to change it, push it back just a little bit. So mark your calendars, July 25th. Let's share a meal, and if you're a member of this church, then we'll have our church business meeting. If you've been visiting our church for a while and you just kind of want to see what goes on, how does this church operate? What are some of the personalities? Then we also invite you to join us on July 25th. And then, hey, mark your calendars for the month of August. August 7th is a Saturday. We're going to go serve at the Strong Foundation. More on that in weeks to come. Hey, how are you doing? I'm celebrating. You know what I'm celebrating? 5 years ago, Northeast Baptist Church called me and voted unanimously to call me as their pastor, and I said yes. It was a gamble in some ways. It seemed like a risk. It seemed like we were the odd couple. I'm coming from a kind of rock and roll church with all the bells and smells and fog machines, and then I get called to like this, the church that had been so strong in decades past, and it's kind of subtly, gradually, just kind of plateaued. But by God's grace, we've been in this journey of recognizing we've got to grow. And I have to admit right off the bat, I was wrong about some of the ways I thought we would grow. Like I thought we would grow if we spiced up the sermons and like spruced up the facilities and sped up the music, and all those things are important to some degree, but those aren't like what's going to build a church. It's not like, you remember Jesus? I mean, hopefully you remember Jesus, but remember specifically when he was ascending back to the Father. He'd done the work on the cross and he was ascending back to the Father. So he's got some final words to his disciples, and he said, "All authority in heaven and on earth has been given to me. Go therefore and spice up the sermons and spruce up the buildings and speed up the music." No, he said, go make disciples. Baptize them in the name of the Father and the Son and the Holy Spirit. Those are the words that Jesus told us to do because all authority had been given to him. And then he reminds us, and know that I am with you always. Because God is with us always, we get to celebrate as a church that we grow. And we don't just grow by making better sermons or better music. I think better sermons and better music should be the outpouring of a love for a God the Father who pursues us and prepares feasts for us. But when we make disciples who are then going to be part of the harvest. So I want to encourage you always, be with me in prayer every day, not just weekdays or Sundays. Every day my phone goes off at 10:02 a.m. and I pray Luke 10:2 that says, "Pray therefore to the Lord of the harvest. He send more workers." Because the fields are ripe, the harvest is plentiful. And we were part of that harvest once upon a time. And there were harvest workers that God sent to tell us the good news. So every day, pray with me, Luke 10:2, "Lord, send the harvest workers. Send us that we would be about making disciples." And then so making disciples who follow is part of why we're doing an 8-part series all through the month of July and August. We're doing a sermon series called Follow, that we would look at all of the scriptures that use that word quite often, quite consistently, repeatedly, that we would follow after Christ. So each week, join us in person, preferably. I hope that you can get outside. I think we were a safe place to be. It's better together when we meet together in person. We can love one another and pray for one another a little bit better when we see each other eye to eye. So gather each week together as we study how we become better followers of God.